Hello, this is Beryl Ann. Feel free to call me Ann for short. If you're new around here on my channel, first of all, welcome. I'm happy you're here. Also, here on my channel, like to discuss my journey of having myomectomy, which is fibroid removal surgery. And I like to share a little bit of my birth stories just for inspiration. So women out there who are going through this can really learn the impact it has on our pregnancies and in our lives, and just how it's like to go through a myomectomy. It's a tough abdominal surgery. I hope my journey inspires you to learn more, to get informed, and just a sense of comfort and inspiration. I've gotten a lot of comments and messages from you guys over the years with having this same procedure, and it just melts my heart knowing that I am helping so many women out there. The first part of this video, I'm going to share how my myomectomy has led to impacting my labor and deliveries, which means having C-sections, being a VBAC versus C-section. And then later on, towards the end of this video, I'm going to discuss the actual experience of my delivery, how everything went that day. It was pretty hectic leading up to delivery day, or scheduled C-section day. It got crazy, you guys. It was chaotic. But first, if you're new around here, just to fill you in real fast, I had fibroid removal surgery done about 4 years ago, October 2021. I fell pregnant 9 months later with the first baby number 1. I had her March 2023. So the pregnancy went well. I recovered well from that C-section and then the myomectomy. I was told I needed a C-section because I felt pregnant so fast after that fibroid removal surgery. So my OB/surgeon was just concerned for rupture, which is normal. It's understandable. So I went ahead and did that C-section for baby number 1. And then I fell pregnant again just 2 years later, just back in October 2024, I fell pregnant. And I had this second baby number 2, just 6 weeks ago in June of this year, 2025. And I was told I will need another C-section. That's number 2. And so I really desire to have a VBAC, which is vaginal birth after cesarean. That's when you try to push normally instead of trying to have another C-section. And the process of having this VBAC was just confusing. It was hectic a little bit. It was very emotional. I did a lot of research, a lot of prayer, a lot of asking questions to my OB at the time. He did answer my questions, but we kind of focused more on the fertility part. So the moral of my birthing story basically is that I think it's really crucial that when we make a decision, a life-altering decision, especially like surgeries, buying a house, getting married, stuff like that, it's really best to understand how it's going to impact our lives later. It's really crucial to be really diligent and to knowing all the details as much as you can. Ask questions, get a lot of details. And I'm doing a lot of this. Sorry. I did not really do so much research on how myomectomy can lead to having to have a lot of having C-sections for each pregnancy. And I don't remember my OB explaining that part of it as well. My OB did not really explain in depth and full detail that this can happen in the future. I was told I need the first C-section because I just got the myomectomy done, of course. So in my case, I had 7 fibroids. The biggest one was 3 centimeters, the size of a golf ball, and like 6 other little pea-sized ones. Very tiny. Where that bigger one was located, that that golf ball 3 centimeter one was located, was in the fibers of the uterus, right? So maybe kind of TMI. Okay. Basically, when they do a myomectomy procedure, they have to really get down up in that uterus. They have to kind of like really, you know, I don't want to say butcher it up, but they have to kind of get in there and pull those fibroids out, which can stress the uterus. It can destroy the fibers of that uterus. So when it's time to push and labor and delivery, those strong contractions can create a chance of rupture because those fibers, the tissue of the uterus, are not strong anymore because they've been weakened by that myomectomy procedure. For literally 9 months of my pregnancy, literally up to like month number 8, I believe, I was trying to fight for a VBAC, and my doctor kept highly recommending a C-section again, but he did not really explain it in full detail. Why? And I really need to know why, if that makes sense. Like, what is going on? I guess there was just a lot of unawareness going on. There was just a lot of unawareness on my part that how a myomectomy can really impact your labor and delivery. My doctor was just recommending a C-section, but that coincides with what all doctors tell you, that, you know, there's always going to be a chance of rupture when you have C-sections. So if you're planning on having a myomectomy, you really want to know every step of the way. How can it impact your fertility, your conception, the whole pregnancy, your labor and delivery, and even after pregnancy, like later on in life as we get older. So I was really hoping for a VBAC, but unfortunately, after another OB explained the details of how my myomectomy was performed by my other, the first surgeon, or my first OB/surgeon, when me and her went over all the details, finally, like at month number 8, when I was 8 months pregnant, I finally got all the details of like what is really going on down there, like what happened during this surgery process 4 years ago. She explained it with so much detail. We went over all the surgery notes, and literally I was like shocked, like that's what they had to do to fix that issue, right? And I'm grateful for modern technology and science and surgical process that we can be able to do these things as mankind. And at one point I felt kind of regretful, like, why did I get that myomectomy done? It ruined my chance of labor and delivery. But I just figured, you know, I don't want to be a C-section mom. I don't think no one does, right? Nobody wants to keep having abdominal surgery, but I just figured I just have to accept it. It probably would have been best for me to get that myomectomy done anyway, because it allowed me to have the chance of conceiving and having pregnancies. And I don't want to get teary. I'm back. I didn't want to cry on camera. I don't want to be like those people on social media that set up the camera on purpose and cry, and then they take down the camera, quickly edit it, and then post it to their social media. I don't want to be like that. These are genuine tears. This is a very emotional topic for me to talk about. Sorry, my makeup is kind of coming off now, but oh well. Oh, this is a very emotional topic to talk about. I get teary-eyed whenever I think about this part of womanhood, you know, this part of pregnancy, because getting told I need surgery just feels like I don't get to do what my body was designed to do by God. Like, getting told I need another C-section just feels like I don't get to do what God intended for my body to do, which I know here in the fallen world, our bodies won't function correctly. Of course, stuff is going to happen to us. And I know women don't get to experience all parts of like womanhood, you know. And that's with anything, like homemaking, having children, falling pregnant. You know, it's like miscarrying. You know what I mean? There's so many things that we won't be able to get to do. I guess for my case, though, is labor and delivery. My husband right off the bat wanted me to have the C-section as well, because he, of course, don't do risk like that with the safety and the health of the baby. He, of course, encouraged the C-section instead. He's all about, you know, of course, safety and what's best for me and baby. So he said, you know, it just seems like if you've had vaginal births beforehand, your chances of VBAC is much greater. But if you've had myomectomy as your first surgical procedure, your chances of being a C-section mom may happen. And I say may or might because, like I said, it all varies. Overall, I did not do a VBC. I did another C-section, number 2. My third cutting, though, because I already had the myomectomy first. So that's going on now to the second half of the video, the actual experience of labor and delivery. A few days leading up to my scheduled C-section day, which we scheduled for June 23rd of this year, 2025. About 4 or 5 days prior, I had an appointment to check for everything. I did go into labor a little bit. I at least get to go through stage 1 of labor. So at that appointment, I had a cervical exam appointment, and on the way driving by myself there, the car broke down and it started smoking in the middle of busy traffic. So my pregnant self jumped out the car in the middle of traffic, and there's like nowhere to wait on the side of the road. It's a busy road with like businesses on the side and like driveways and stuff like that. Businesses and stores and restaurants and all that stuff. And I'm just like on the side of the road, and cars are passing by. A van passed by with a lady saying, "She's pregnant! Help that pregnant lady!" And then they just drove past. I'm like, you could have helped me. Like, okay, smoke came from across the street, and they helped me push our car over to the where my appointment was. I was about to turn right into the facility when it cut off. My husband stayed back home to watch our 2-year-old while I went to my appointment. And I guess, long story short, I went through the appointment. It all went well. I did my cervical exam. I was 1 centimeter dilated, which was nice to hear. I get to experience the first stage of labor a little bit, which is nice. With my first pregnancy, I was 3 centimeters dilated, and I experienced having contractions. C-sections are usually scheduled around 39 weeks. So yeah, so the appointment went well, but then my husband had to deal with trying to buy us a new car within 3 days before the delivery day, before the scheduled C-section day. So we were told that the car was totaled. I forget what happened. The oil got burned out, and so the engine seized. So the next day or so, my husband had to go out and help to get us a new car. He went to the dealership and signed for our new car. As you can see, it's a Chevy Equinox. It's a nice little mid-size SUV. I had to get used to driving it after I healed. That's when I got to really drive it. And so it's nice. It's a lot bigger than the car that we had. I missed that car. It was a nice little car that we had. It was a Hyundai Sonata. I have a vlog of us buying it, actually, from after we got married. Anyway, though, so we bought the car on Thursday, and I was due on Monday to get to the hospital. And then so we had to get the car seats installed for both babies. The toddler car seat, the infant car seat, all installed within like 2 days. We got that done Saturday and Sunday, and then by Monday morning we headed out in our new car. We drove out to the hospital. During the surgical process, they still gave me Pitocin, even though I said no to Pitocin. It was in my birthing plan. They still snuck in an IV with Pitocin in it, and I think it was after the surgery or during the surgical process. I noticed there was an IV in me, and I said, "What is this?" And they said, "It's the Pitocin." And I was like, "No, I don't want Pitocin. I don't want none of that stuff." And then so I think having the Pitocin kind of led to having stronger, harsher down contractions, which is after birth, you're contracting down. Your uterus is now kind of, healing down, and it's extremely painful. I mean, it felt like I was giving natural birth. That's how I know how it feels. I know how it is to give natural birth. No pain medication helped me. We tried to do different pain medicine the first 2 days of being at the hospital. Nothing worked. The last medicine I had to just try was Tramadol. It was okay, but the first night to the second day, I was in immense pain. I could not even do much. I could not make videos. I tried to vlog. I couldn't. it was just not my focus, of course. But I was told by a nurse that you're contracting down, the down contractions, whatever it's called, it gets worse with each kid. Yeah, it was miserable. By Wednesday, I was a lot better. One other thing was that I was expecting an epidural, and they gave me a spinal, which I thought epidurals kind of go with Pitocin because you want that 24-hour numbing, and I guess a spinal is more temporary, so that was kind of weird. I'm here to let you know, be very diligent in your birthing. You have to make sure what you want is what you want. Don't let them tell you otherwise. Yeah. I laid on the couch for about 2 weeks, a week and a half, as much as I can with baby, like skin to skin and everything. My foot got swollen. My left foot was swollen 5 days later, which we went to the doctor the next day, and they said it was probably due to having too much fluid from the surgery. I guess your body tries to release the excess fluid from surgical processes, and that's what happened, like too much water retention or something. So if you want to meet baby, she's over on my Instagram. I do have some reels featuring her and everything, also here on shorts here on my channel. Moral of my story, or moral of the story, is that making a decision, a life-altering decision, is very important. It's really best to understand the pros and the cons and to be really diligent. It can really severely impact your life later. Like, when we make a decision, we think about the now, but it's best to think about our future self. Because when we go to make an option later on with that decision, it may not be able to happen. Like, there may not be an option. Don't forget to browse my playlist of my myomectomy journey and my pregnancy journeys and everything. My playlist is in the description box below. Until next time. Bye.